thank you for making time for us. As you are aware, and hopefully our followers are aware, that we've been getting the opportunity to highlight some of my favorite people and favorite businesses. This couple right here, the power couple, we'll call them, between Mark and Inessa, have been dear friends from the second I joined the region and became part of the community. You invited me with open arms. Maybe just because I was tall and handsome. I'm not sure the real answer to that. But
Top 2 reasons, for sure.
I rather quickly became a big Mark fan just because his passion and energy. And then when I met your wife, then I'm like, oh, and he,
Chef liver.
yeah. Then I'm like, yeah, he definitely met the right person with the right mind and creativity as well. But I want to share a little bit about some of the businesses you were on, some of the drive that you've had and impact you've had in this community. Almost 12 years ago, when I came to this community, rather quickly, and I don't remember the event we're at, you just like beeline to me and just introduced yourself and just talked about welcome to the community and just had all this great stuff. And what's interesting about a lot of communities, when you're outside in, you can see all the great things, but you're inside out, you think about all the things you lost, right? But you had a really clear vision from the second I met you, no pun intended on our name. But you just started telling me all the things you're going to do and what you're hoping to do and what has to happen. And I've never heard it with such clarity. And I'm like, do you have a blueprint for this idea? And you're like, no, but it's here.
Kind of had this big city vision since I was a young guy. And I don't know if I was chasing a dream or a nightmare. But the one thing I will tell you is that I've been really passionate and somewhat focused on what I want Binghamton to be. And we're not there yet, but I'm going to continue to work hard to make it a great area to work and raise a family and have a really good community. It took me 5 or 7 years to get a 2-year degree at college.
Yes.
So interesting enough, when people ask me how many years of college did I attend, I always say 7. And I always hope that they don't ask what kind of degree I have, because I just want them to simply think that maybe I'm a doctor, maybe I'm a lawyer, or maybe I have some MBA or some fancy degree because I did 7 years of college.
I haven't heard this story. This is awesome.
But all jokes aside, I had an incredible upbringing. My parents were wonderful parents, which didn't make sense, some of the lessons they were teaching us then, right? Work ethic, making your bed, helping clean the house, all these things. But it made a lot of sense as we got older. Life is a huge lesson. Yeah. And hopefully you extract the really good things out of it. You learn humility.
Yeah. Inessa, how about yourself? I don't really know your kind of transition. I've known you from Businesswoman of the Year, like, from day one. Maybe talk about your transition, how you got here and how this became home.
I was not born here, but born in Russia. Yeah. We moved here in 1990 with my family. So I was raised here, lived in Binghamton and Vestal most of my life. I always wanted to leave. I refused to make my parents happy and say I'm going to stay here and stay with the family. So my dream was to go to New York City. Right. And the minute that I could, I was out of here. Yeah. I worked at Saks Fifth Avenue initially down there in the jewelry department. After about 7 or 8 years, I thought I got it out of my system. I moved back to Binghamton, and my good friend at the time, Mark, was still here. I remember Mark called me one day and said, hey, there's a consignment store in Vestal that has been here for many, many, many years. Yeah. And she's selling the business. And I think it's really up your alley. I remember Mark and I walked through the store, and my initial reaction was
a hard no.
It's a hard no.
Not even as like a heck no. It was all in. Like,
I know Mark was reluctant about all of my ideas to redo the entire store, but we ended up buying the store from the previous owner, which was Fabulous Finds. Yeah. Reopened maybe 6 months later or so and called it Vintageness. And it's still there and doing great. We started the store. I was there full time. And then out of the blue, I got a phone call from the previous owner of the Goldsmith. Working at the Goldsmith, I would say, for at least 6 years,
Yeah.
I really learned. I attended the trade shows.
Yeah.
We did the buying, selling, obviously, custom work. I was in the studio figuring out how to repair things as well. So I knew the ins and outs of the business. I just never thought I would own the store one day. In hindsight, it's kind of like everything just kind of fell into place and was meant to be with me moving back. Yes.
For it as well.
I mean, really, and I have to throw this in there, and it's not just because, you're interviewing us, but I mean, without visions, and if it wasn't for you, your line of credit, your loans, and just your entire support with whatever we need.
Fast.
Thank you.
So fast. Quick turnaround. We wouldn't be here.
But you know what? Visions is like, they're the breath of fresh air for our area, because they're willing to take the risk most of the time.
When we can,
when this is what we need. This is how we're going to bring back our area. You have to have a really solid partner. And your partners are usually, whether it's the city of Binghamton, Johnson City, Endicott, whoever it is, and your lender. Those are your partners to make things happen. We enjoy coming up with fun ideas. Like, we want going to work fun. It's not always fun. You have some challenges, but we're passionate about making the area a better area.
Well, talk about this place a little bit, Station 45. So this is a really, really beautiful place. Being a transplant from the south who moved to the north, you run into these old buildings with the bones that are so incredible.
I was looking for office space for myself, and I came across the train station. And I've always loved this building. But
It needed work.
Pretty beat up.
It needed work.
I just had a vision for this place, but it needed to start with really rehabbing the entire building. Built up some cash flow by leasing out offices to small companies that actually started off small and grew, and they grew their companies. So it's been rewarding as far as that goes. But I also had a vision for this space that I wanted to see it as a restaurant one day. And steakhouse wasn't even really on the radar. And then COVID hit, so that delayed things. As I said earlier, you got to extract the lessons. So the lessons were the delays allowed us to make better business decisions, better ideas. I'll give you one, for example. We had our bar literally went from one town to the other. And I think it sat maybe 12 or 14 people at the time. And I was reading an article, and I was really frustrated. I'd come down here with Anthony Capozzi, my partner, and we'd walk around and try to come up with ideas, and we were just frustrated waiting for this building permit. I was reading an article, and the article said that every bar stool is worth $12,000 to $15,000 annually. I said, Anthony,
we need more bar stools.
We need to figure out how to make this bar bigger. And we ended up building a really big bar, which I have to tell you is one of the best decisions. So look, extract the frustration into something that has been really rewarding, and trying to restore as much as we possibly could in this building. Again, that adds to another reason why it took so long. You're not walking into Home Depot and pulling anything that's in this off the shelf. We restored the ceiling, which is original.
Beautiful.
If I told you, me and Inessa looked at 200 light fixtures to make sure it was the right fit. But again, it all adds to the story.
And the veterans, that's one of my favorite stories. Could you share? I know the story, but.
So the veterans room is, I had 4 uncles, my mom's 4 brothers that were all, very close in age. And I had a nice relationship with 3 of the 4. Her one brother, Larry, died in the invasion of Normandy. So I never met him, and he died at age 23. My 3 other uncles I had a nice relationship with, and they're all passed as well. But ironically, they all left from this train station to go to World War II.
That's right.
Right? So I wanted to dedicate that room to my 4 uncles. We named it the Veterans Room. But when you go inside the Veterans Room, there's got to be, 50, 100 pictures of veterans.
I appreciate that. As you know, my father was a vet, and I've always loved that.
Why don't we get his picture up there?
I know we talk about it all the time.
I would love that.
We should do that.
And you would love that.
I would. I should definitely find a way to do that. And that's why I've always applauded, just your focus for the veterans has always been there. You've always had that as long as I've known you, and I appreciate that.
We built a veterans outpatient clinic in 2017.
I was leading to that. I felt like it was one of those passion projects, and I mean, they're all passion projects for you, but that one felt like a passion project. And I remember you going through it. I can almost see how your mind works through how you get through problems. That's amazing. And that's probably how he finally caught you too. He just kept going, kept going, kept going.
Absolutely.
I think that's what we do on a daily basis. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to listen to my conversations, his conversations, just with the variety of businesses that
Yes. Yeah.
we have on our plate, it's foolish to say that we don't have stresses, right?
Yeah.
We probably every single hour we're calling with something that happened. How do we fix it? And I think obviously we deal with things differently, and especially the restaurant business is, I think, the most stressful industry if you were to ask me.
But I'll also say, if you ever want to just chill out, what's really mellowed me out.
I know the answer, but go ahead. Say it. Yeah. I'll say it for you. I can see it's hitting you. So not only do they have all this going on, they decided to start a family, and talk about handsome. I'm looking at you. But yeah.
Put your mindset in the right perspective.
Yeah.
Allows you to be laser focused on things going on.
Yeah.
It's, one breath, as much as we want to maybe step back a little bit and chill, I don't think we're wired that way. And I feel like we still have work to do. And it's, as I said earlier, we have fun with what we do. We want to continue having fun.
Seems that way, yeah. I start thinking about what's next, right? Because you're probably like, man, Ty, let me enjoy this one for a little bit. But I know you both. There's next. You don't have to say what it is, but I know you hopefully you got something that's getting you excited about what's next out there.
We're working on a couple things that will be,
game changers, hopefully.
One will be an absolute game changer for the area, in my opinion.
But with that said, I think, again, and I couldn't even, in this time, remotely get to more than half of all the cool things that you guys do. But selfishly, thank you for making time for me and giving me this whole evening in your beautiful, beautiful place. I hope we get people coming down and this place stays full forever and everyone gets to enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't stop. The energy is amazing that you create in this community, and I appreciate it.
And I'm not just saying this. It's Visions is so community involved, and that is such a important dynamic to have, where there's nowhere you don't see your name.
Thank you.
And that's really, really important. And you're an easy guy to like, Ty. You're an easy guy to love. And I'm not just saying that. We love you. You bring a good energy. You make a lot of things fun. You make a lot of things important. I think the community is very fortunate to have Visions and a leader that understands how important it is to give back to a community.
Yes. We appreciate that you choose to work with us and make us part of your extended family and relationship. And as your friend, I've just enjoyed to watch your own personal growth, the both of you, and your success story. And I get to brag that, I know those guys. But seriously, just keep doing it. Stay positive. Keep doing it. Just the best of everything for Ezekiel to see that he's getting to see the best. The best is only to come as a father. So enjoy, as a parent, enjoy.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for making time for us. And
thank you.
We
I
appreciate
can't wait
you.
to watch this back myself. Hopefully I don't cry.